attacks and flurries to try and go clear. No, it's this is Cepeda, the other Cepeda now, who's trying to go clear of the group.
Sivakov is just closing them down here, but the two groups have now come together. But I'm just looking to see if there's any Israel Premier Tech riders in that. Can't see too many, which means that Stevie Williams is on his own. What I was saying, when the group's coming together, if there's a couple of your teammates, there's still enough time to come to the front and try and kind of ride Brandon McNulty back. But for the moment, the initial tactics of just, I think we said at the start of the show today that UAE Team Emirates is a really strong team, and a variety of winners, and they've just decided to attack after attack. Sivakov was the last one, now Brandon McNulty, but Stevie Williams, I think he's recognising he could be riding for second place here.
Yeah, he's got Yannis Aguirre up alongside him now as well. So the big players, the people we've mentioned as being the big ones to watch for today, now in full effect, but they are chasing a brilliant time trialist in Brandon McNulty. If we discount, Brian, the Mallorca Challenge race at the beginning of the year, this is actually his first one-day race of the year, because he rode Valenciana, which he won overall, having won stage 4. Then he rode the UAE Tour, picked up the time trial win there as well. And then, of course, he rode Paris-Nice, where he finished 3rd overall. This is his first one-day race of the season, and he's on a flyer.
Yes, and it's just the teamwork, having the numbers in front, and it was one attack after the... Look, it's not over yet. 15 seconds, it's not over. But you have to say he's quite confident, because it was on the descent that he actually, made the difference. And so, while there's a lot of kind of negative riding behind, when I say negative riding, I said, look, they're not wanting to help each other. When you get a group like this, you need either some riders with teammates. If there's no teammates there, then you have to kind of work together. But 15, 14 seconds is not a huge gap, but we know that Brandon McNulty is very capable of holding that. And if it comes to the bottom of this final climb, Jez, and it's still the same, it's going to be a really exciting final.
Yeah, he won. I remember Brandon McNulty winning the Ford Ardèche Classic just like this 2 years ago. Very similar thing. Big late-on climb, went over the climb, just attacked over the top of it, extended on the descent, and then time trialled his way to the finish to win solo in the Ford Ardèche Classic. That was 2 years ago, but very similar kind of distance to go from as well. So we know he can do this.
Well, there's a couple of riders riding at the front now. DSM, they've got another rider in this group. I think it's Oscar Onley is in the group, in the main group behind. But having a look around at the colours that are here, I don't think there's one team here with numbers. So I think this is DSM's kind of sacrificing the right. This is all they can do. If they hold Brandon McNulty at 12 seconds, you've got to remember that the guys in the bunch behind, they're actually ones getting a little bit of kind of out the winds. 12 seconds, is it going to be enough? It's touch and go in my book.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Brian. It is touch and go. This is the Alto de Muro, the wall, the narrow urban road up which he's going to climb. Well, we're being shown 10 seconds. We'll get our camera motorbike out of the way, hopefully, because it is close. And any of the climbers who've still got some attacking yet to come would need to do it here, really, Brian, wouldn't they? There is one more hill to come, but this is where you could make a little bit of a difference. This will really test McNulty now.
Brandon McNulty's been at his threshold for the last few minutes here, so this is going to be tough. Van Heels it is for a Lotto Destiny, and you have to go from the bottom. You can't kind of wait for the top, and he's got a bit of time to try and get up to him. You can see the gap closing very, very quickly now, and looks as if Van Heels has got him. We're not off the top of the climb yet, so Van Heels got Brandon McNulty in his sights. And again, some other efforts here from the group behind, but I think that was the right time to go, and I think Van Heels, as he gets to Brandon McNulty, it has to go over the top.
Yeah, and that's what he does. Maxim van Gils now picking up the front of the race from Brandon McNulty, who won't get much shelter because it's so steep. The aerodynamic advantage will make no difference, really. Maxim van Gils looks good. Did appear to be pushing a massive gear. I don't know if he's under-geared, but it's a very steep climb. The wall, the Muru, and Brandon McNulty now really rocking and riding. DSM Firmenich, do we think that's Oscar Onley in there? There's Archie Ryan chasing behind him, Yannis Aguirre behind him. Brian, is that Onley still there? coming up for third place at the moment.
Looks like him. But this is where we're just going over the top of the climb now. They should put the power down. So he's over the top. He's just got this tricky descent. From where I'm sitting in the moment, fingers crossed, no incidents in this descent. Don't take any huge risks. It looks as if Van Heels is going to ride this one to victory.
Let's see, 1,500 metres to go. You're right though, Brian. Cross your fingers, legs, arms and everything watching at home, folks, because it is a tricky descent, this, in the wet. Look how tight that is there, and there are multiple white lines crisscrossing it as well. So, Maxim Van Heels, the youngster, the young Belgian from Lotto Destiny, going through that bend, but only a slender lead over Brandon McNulty, I think, Brian, who's still chasing. Oscar Onley there as well. McNulty's regrouped.
Yeah, McNulty is there in second place there, but the thing is, what I said before, we go under 1 kilometre to go. This is actually no place to make up time because of the technical nature. You're going to have to take risks if you're going to close a 50-metre gap. So I don't think anybody wants to take any risk whatsoever, because if you take the risk, you lose the race. So we're just coming through the last kind of sequence of corners, and it starts to kind of open up a little bit now. But Brandon McNulty is taking these risks and coming very close to Van Heels again.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Brandon McNulty's... A lot of riders would have laid down arms after a big attack like that and getting caught. He looked like he was ragged when he was caught on the Alto de Muro by this man. But, gosh, I've said it before. I think Brandon McNulty, Brian, I think it's evident to all of us. There's a guy who knows how to suffer and dig deep to get back in touch. And that's exactly what he's done. The American is now just about back in touch with young Maxim Van Heels, this Belgian climbing prodigy, who's shown his legs today, but Brandon McNulty comes underneath him. We're going to see a sprint between these two. McNulty, I don't know where he'd gone there. He's up on the back wheel of Maxim Van Heels. Watch from behind, though. Oscar Onley is coming. Jonas Aguirre is there. The young Irishman as well. Archie Ryan in the shout for a top 10 place too. Onley making his comeback. Here goes the sprint, though, as well. Brandon McNulty's opened up, and I think he might have it. Let's have a look, though, because Maxim Van Heels is in the wheel. McNulty still going for the line. What has Maxim Van Heels got left? Not enough. Brandon McNulty with a brilliant win.
Didn't really kind of know that Brandon McNulty had won, because that information, maybe in the last moments of the race, that when Hills comes over the top of the climb, that information maybe we can kind of broadcast it back to the team, and then finding out that Brandon McNulty had actually won, and that little be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it looked. I was waiting to see whether Van Heels had enough to come off his wheel, but he was seated. He did just come off the wheel, but didn't move up at all. Great ride by both of them. Either one of those two would have been a deserving victor. There was no one sitting in sandbagging. They'd both been attacking, both been up the road. So the right result, I think, for everyone watching. I hope you've enjoyed that at home. A bit of hammering rain and lovely Spanish sunshine in the Basque Country too. And there it is provisionally. Brandon McNulty, the American rider, the winner over Belgian Maxim Van Heels. Oscar Onley back from his broken collarbone and looking good, the Scotsman, in third. Last year's winner, Jonas Aguirre, in fourth. The young Irishman Archie Ryan in fifth. Samuele Battistella, the best of the Astana riders, the Italian, in sixth place, ahead of Clément Champoussin, who was the Arkea Samsic rider in there. The Frenchman, Steph Kras, with another fine ride in this race, as he has done in the past. It was Max Schachmann, the Bora Hansgrohe rider, in that leading group, and Fernando Barcelo in 10th for Caja Rural. That was a very open race, wasn't it, Brian? Nice to see so many players still